folks, it's Zach Elliott at Feel Free to Argue, and I know I haven't been posting a great deal lately, and today's post is not going to have anything to do with the rampant stupidity of the American political process at all. Just because I've been finding it way too depressing, and though I'm keeping track of it, I've been also kind of going back to root causes, reading background materials, reading a little bit of kind of my core philosophy and stuff. And one of the things that I came across when I was kind of going to ground, philosophically speaking, was a set of essays written by George Saunders called The Braindead Megaphone. And there's one essay in here, well, there's a couple essays I'm probably going to read for you. One of them is probably going to have to be done in several installments. It's the one that it's named for, The Braindead Megaphone. But there was another essay in here which I felt was, if I had a Bible, if I had a personal Bible, this essay would probably be my Genesis in my Bible, you know. And so I wanted to read that for you. It's called Thought Experiment. Imagine the following scenario. Two babies are born at precisely the same moment. Baby 1 is healthy with a great IQ and all its limbs and two kind, intelligent, non-dysfunctional parents. Baby 2 is sickly, not very bright, is missing a limb or two, and is the child of two self-absorbed and stupid losers, one of whom has not been seen around lately, the other of whom is a heroin addict. Now imagine this scenario enacted 1,000,000 times. Now imagine those 2 million babies leaving the hospital and beginning to live their lives. Statistically, the baby 1s are going to have a better time of it than the baby 2s. Whatever random bad luck befalls the baby 1s will have more resources with which to engineer a rebound. If a particular baby 1 turns out to be, say, schizophrenic, he or she will get better treatment than the corresponding baby 2, will be generally safer and better cared for, will more likely have a stable home to return to. Having all his limbs, he can go where he needs to go faster and easier. Ditto if baby 1 is depressed or slow-witted or wants to be an artist or dreams of having a family and supporting that family with dignity. A fortunate birth, in other words, is a shock absorber. Now, we might ask ourselves, what did baby 1 do to deserve this fortunate birth? Or conversely, what did baby 2 do to deserve the unfortunate birth? Imagine the instant before birth. Even then, the die was cast. Baby 2 has done nothing, exerted no will, and yet the missing limb is already missing, the slow brain already slow, the undesirable parents already undesirable. Now, think back 4 months before the birth. Is the baby any more culpable? 6 months before birth. At the moment of conception. Is it possible to locate the moment when baby 2's culpability begins? Now consider a baby born with a particular neurologic condition that will eventually cause him to manifest that suite of behaviors we call paranoia. His life will be hell. Suspicious of everyone and everything, deeply anxious, he will have little pleasure, be able to forge no deep relationships. Now, here's that baby 15 seconds after conception. All the seeds of his future condition are present, otherwise, from what would it develop? Is he to blame? What did he do? What choices did he make that caused this condition in himself? Clearly, he did nothing to deserve his paranoia. If 30 years later, suspecting that his neighbor is spying on him, he trashes the neighbor's apartment and kills the neighbor's cat with a phone book, is he to blame? If so, at what point in his long life was he supposed to magically overcome, transcend his condition? And how? Here, on the other hand, is a baby born with the particular neurologic condition that will eventually cause him to manifest that suite of behaviors we call being incredibly happy. His life will be heaven. Everything he touches will turn to gold. What doesn't turn to gold, he will use as fodder for contemplation and will be the better for it. He will be able to love and trust people and get true pleasure from them. He is capable and self-assured, and using his abilities, acquires a huge fortune and performs a long list of truly good deeds. Now, here's that baby 15 seconds after conception. All the seeds of his condition are present. Otherwise, from what would it develop? Can he justifiably, at 15 seconds old, take credit for himself? What did he do? What choices did he make that caused this condition of future happiness to manifest? Where was the moment of exertion of will? Where was the decision? There was no exertion of will and no decision. There was only fulfillment of a pattern that began long before his conception. So if 30 years later, in the company of his beautiful wife, whom he loves deeply, baby one accepts the Nobel Prize, then drives away in his Porsche, listening to Mozart, toward his gorgeous home, where his beloved children wait, thinking loving thoughts of him, can he justifiably take credit for any of this? You would not blame a banana for being the banana that it is. You would not expect it to have auto-corrected its bent stem or willed itself into a brighter shade of yellow. Why is it then so natural for us to blame a person for being the person she is, and to expect her to auto-correct her shrillness, say, or to will herself into a perkier, more efficient person? I now hear a voice from the gallery crying, "But I am not a banana! I have made myself what I am! What about the tenacity and self-improvement and persisting in our efforts until our noble cause is won?" But it seems to me that not only is our innate level of pluck, say, hardwired at birth, but also our ability to improve our level of pluck, as well as our ability to improve our ability to improve our level of pluck. All of these are ceded to us at the moment that sperm meets egg. Our life, inflected by the particulars of our experience, scrolls out from there. Otherwise, what is it exactly that causes person A at age 40 to be plucky, and person B, also 40, to be decidedly non-plucky? Is it some failure of intention? And at what point precisely did that failure occur? The upshot of all this is not a passive moral relativism that makes the bearer incapable of action in the world. If you repeatedly come to my house and drive your truck over my chickens, I had better get you arrested, or have your truck taken away, or somehow ironclad or elevate my chickens. But I'd contend that my ability to protect my chicken actually improves as I realize that your desire to flatten my chickens is organic and comes out of somewhere and is not unmotivated or even objectively evil. It is undeniable to who you are at that instant, as is your hair color. Which is not to say that it cannot be changed. It can be changed. It must be changed. But dropping the idea that your actions are evil and that you are monstrous, I enter a new moral space in which the emphasis is on seeing with clarity rather than judging, on acting in the most effective way, that is, the way that most radically and permanently protects my chickens, rather than on constructing and punishing a monster. If at the moment when someone cuts us off in traffic or breaks our heart or begins bombing our ancestral village, we could withdraw from judging mode and enter this other, more accepting mode, we would, paradoxically, make ourselves more powerful. By resisting the urge to reduce in order to subsequently destroy, we keep alive, if only for a few seconds more, the possibility of transformation. This has been Zach Elliott, and you can always feel free to argue. Take care, everyone.